Let's start by introducing yourselves first, your name, where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Jackey Good. I'm playing Ella, as in Cinderella. And I'm from Troy, Pennsylvania originally. I live in Queens, New York at this point. I've been in New York City for about 11 years. And
Yeah, I'm Jeremy Seiner. I'm playing Topher, or Prince Topher. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I just moved to New York. I've been there for about a month now.
Okay. Is this your guys' first time, or you've been here before, I believe? And
Yeah, I was here 2 summers ago with the Catch Me If You Can and that whole summer season.
okay.
And I was here in 2011 and 2012. I was in the ensembles of both Miracle on 34th Street and Oliver.
Okay. Well, we were just discussing before we came out how this is a different kind of production of Cinderella. Kind of tell me how it's different. What?
Well, actually, Cinderella was done on stage a lot, but the original Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella was a telecast starring Julie Andrews, and then they did a new telecast with Leslie Ann Warren, and then in 2013 it actually finally made it to a Broadway stage with a brand new revised script, all the same music that everybody knows and loves 10 minutes ago, and A Lovely Night and Do I Love You Because You're Wonderful. Yeah, they completely updated the script. It's a lot funnier than previous scripts. It's a little zanier and a lot more fun, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it has a couple of twists and unexpected things, and it's definitely not the same Cinderella that everyone knows.
Okay. Well, like anymore, they've been doing a lot of movies like movie versions, different versions like Snow White and the Huntsman or Maleficent. Is
Yeah.
it and dramatic changes? Is it that dramatic or?
I think it's more akin to Tangled, the Rapunzel movie that they made. I don't know how long ago.
Like,
It's a little
it's
kooky.
it's a little cookie. It's a little.
Yeah.
I want to say a little more modern in the sense of how the speaking dialogue is, but it's still very much a fairy tale.
Okay. Okay. But you said the music's the same, so.
The music is the same, yes. It's all the Rodgers and Hammerstein score, so it's,
So if
it's
you
all the
used to
beautiful
you used to sing along, you can still sing along. And
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, when was the first time you guys encountered the story of Cinderella? Was it a book read to you? Was it a movie or?
Go ahead.
Well, I have to say for me, it was the Disney movie. And that's, as soon as I think of Cinderella, that's always what I think of, the classic Disney animation and the songs from that. And then I believe somewhere in high school or before that, I saw the original stage production of Cinderella with all the favorite songs and things like that. So that was the first time I really encountered Cinderella in that case.
Okay.
And for me, so this version of Cinderella, the Rodgers and Hammerstein version of Cinderella, is my mom's favorite musical, hands down. The first VHS that she ever bought was the Leslie Ann Warren version of Cinderella, and of course, it was a part of my household. You know, I was maybe 3 years old and running around singing 10 minutes ago. So yeah, this version, this particular Rodgers and Hammerstein version, has been a part of my life. That was the first time I'd ever heard of Cinderella, and it's still my favorite.
Okay. So have any of you been in productions of Cinderella before? Is this your first being in a production of Cinderella?
This is my first opportunity to be in a production of Cinderella.
Same, yeah, first for me too.
Okay. So what's it like instead of watching it to be part of it? Is it a different feeling? Is it kind of a sentimental kind of thing, or?
Do you want to say?
I mean, well, it's who doesn't want to be a prince? Let's put it that way. I'm having a blast playing the prince. It's so much fun, and I mean, you get the girl in the end, and you get to fall in love, and you get to have your fairy tale, and it's very, very fun.
Yeah. I mean, yes. It's. I think every little girl always wants to be a princess, and specifically Cinderella is. She's so iconic. If it helps to get an idea of how I felt. I found out that I was playing Cinderella, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm going to be playing Cinderella, whatever. But then when I read the script, I got to the part where the glass slippers are on Ella's feet, and I just burst into tears. I was like, "Oh my God, I get to wear glass slippers!" So yeah, it was very exciting and very. I didn't realize how much of a dream role it was until I was in it. I was like, "Oh yes, I do want to play Cinderella." So,
Well, speaking of glass slippers, costumes are an important part, especially her dress. Speak a little bit about the costumes. Are they like kind of again the traditional Cinderella kind of costumes, or are they changed up a little bit? Or
when someone usually mentions Cinderella, I think they think of the blonde. I think we have that dog playing back there.
Yeah.
Inara.
We're just keep on video.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She's our mascot. She's our Cinderella mascot. We should get her a dress. But yeah, usually, I mean, I think the Disney version of Cinderella with the blonde hair and the blue dress probably is what people think of the most. In our production, I will remain brunette. And I have one white ball gown and one gold ball gown. So both very, very beautiful and both very, very shiny. Maybe not necessarily what you would expect from Cinderella, but beautiful. All of my outfits are extremely beautiful. And if you come see the show, you might be surprised at how the transformations happen. So,
Well, you mentioned
transformations.
two ball gowns, which makes me, without giving away, is there a reason for two ball gowns, or?
You'll just have to see.
Okay. Well, I'll be seeing it Saturday night, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But for guys, costumes probably aren't a big thing, or is it kind of fun with these costumes?
Well, from what I've been able to try on, a lot of these costumes are pretty cool and fit very well, thanks to Steven's work. Today, I actually have a fitting for my suit of armor that I get to try on.
Suit of armor,
So
okay.
I'm very excited to try that, and looking forward to playing with a suit of armor of my own.
Okay, because I don't remember suit of armor. No, you guys are
No, you
piquing my
don't.
interest.
I know. There's
Hey.
more to this.
Yeah,
Meets the
because
eye.
I mean, like in Sleeping Beauty, there's a suit of armor, but not Cinderella. Interesting. Well, you kind of mentioned the changing of the ball gown. What are there anything other in the show about special effects or props or interesting things like that? Or
Well.
again, without giving away too much.
Yes. Well, I mean, it is Cinderella. There's a fairy godmother, so yes, there's lots and lots of magic that has to happen. And yes, the of course, her rags are turned into a beautiful dress. And again, blink and you'll miss it.
Right.
You'll just have to see the magic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say that there are
Come see
definitely some fairy tale creatures to look forward to, and which again, are like Cinderella fairy tale creatures. So yeah, there are definitely a bunch of special effects. It's a very magical show.
Okay. So the script has changed, but the magic hasn't.
Yeah,
Of course.
there's definitely lots of
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what else about the show can you tell me without giving too much away? It seems like if you've seen this show a million times, which sometimes I feel I have, it sounds like it's going to be quite different, though. So.
Yeah, I think that you'll be able to sing along, and you're going to know the story of Cinderella. But like I said before, there are a couple twists and changes that'll keep you entertained along the way.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of beautiful dancing that happens. Again, lots of swirling ball gowns and ladies being lifted, and it's very, very romantic.
Okay. Well, you can't have a good story without a good villain. So, stepmother and stepsisters are still in it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about those in the show.
Oh yes. That stepmother. she's a character. She is. But you might be surprised at the stepsisters. There is a little subplot involving one of the stepsisters. She may not be as ugly and evil as she seems.
I think one of the things the script really does is gives all of the characters a chance to express themselves, whereas a lot of the previous versions of the show that you might know, seem to gloss over a lot of the characters that you're familiar with. This show does a good job of allowing the audience to understand them a bit more and
Yeah.
give them some more personality.
Yeah, and they have a little more nuance to them. They're not just, one-dimensional villains. They have moments where their villainy cracks a little bit and their softer side comes out.
No one's 100% evil.
Indeed,
No.
indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the holidays are coming up, so how does this show fit into the family's, Christmas time, or?
Well, for me, I think it's wonderful to be able to work in a holiday season, but also not miss spending time with my family. Luckily, it doesn't fall directly on the holidays, so as soon as I finish working here, I'll be able to spend Christmas with my family, and even go to Disney for the New Year's, which I'm really excited for.
Wow.
Nice.
But it is nice to be able to work here in the winter and experience the Warsaw Christmas spirit, as it were.
Festive. So when you're at Disney, you can find Cinderella there. and-
Exactly. I'll be like, I found you.
Yeah. And I mean, Cinderella's, again, Christmas is magical. Cinderella is magical. It's all,
It all
it's
comes
all.
together,
Yeah. You just feel kind of warm and fuzzy and a little romantic and,
Yeah, cool.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Of course,
Thank
of
you.
course.